there, savvy home buyers and sellers. This is Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru, Mississauga real estate broker, and welcome to episode 3 of COVID-19 Real Estate Market Update. These numbers are going to cover the GTA and Mississauga from April 8th, 2020 to April 14th. If you want to know what's going on with the real estate market, you're not going to want to miss this. Let's go! Well, welcome to week 4 of the lockdown here in Ontario. It's been a tough time. I mean, just for everybody. I know with me, the kids, everything, not being able to get out, do whatever we want to do, it's really tough. However, what keeps my sanity is taking a look at the numbers, keep working, keep doing things, because I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And today we're going to go over the numbers as they stand for the last 7 days, because I think it's really important as a home buyer or seller to get a fix on what's going on in the market. We don't want to always just listen to the news media. I tend to focus on the numbers because that's where the real truth lies. All right, so let's just get right into it. As of last week, new listings are down 70% over the same time last year, while sales are down a whopping 91% from the same time last year. Now, when we compare last week to the week before, which is another slow week, listings are down 25%, while sales are down 39%. So in the month of April, you can see slow decrease in both listings and sales, which is typically normal during a time like this. All right, so let's get to the number one question all home buyers and sellers want to know. What's going on with house prices? So first of all, we've had a low number of home sales. And when I run these numbers, I base it off of a semi-detached house in Mississauga between the listing price of $600,000 and $900,000. The reason I do that is in order to have a good comparison, you cannot be comparing mansions with small condos. We tend to look at homes in the same price range and same style. Now, having said that, there hasn't been a lot of sales. In fact, in the last week in Mississauga, nothing has sold over $900,000. So that eliminates all the big detached houses and luxury homes. So it's the best sample size to see what's going on. So when we compare this last week, April 8th to April 14th to the first week in March, March 1st to March 7th, we can see that house prices have gone down about 8% compared to where they were in March. Now, while house prices have gone down, there's a couple of stats that are actually quite surprising. First of all, the average day on market for the homes that sold last week was still only 9 days. And that is really a fast selling rate. So normally when you see a traditional buyer's market, homes are sitting on the market 30 days, 60 days, but these homes are selling very fast in 9 days. Another stat I noticed is the average sold to ask price is still over 100%. So this tells me that there's a certain segment of sellers that are aggressively dropping their price in order to sell their house very fast. So they're not doing the traditional thing of sitting on the market a long time and waiting for a buyer to come in low. They're actually being aggressive in front of the curve in order to sell the house. So that tells me while the majority of people listing their home are willing to wait this out and see what happens in the future, they're not willing to drop their prices, you will have a small segment of the population that is under duress or forced to sell right away. So, all right, for the last part of the video, we're going to look at absorption rate and inventory on market. And this one stat is key in order to give you a good idea of possibly what's going to happen in the future. Now, we don't have a crystal ball, but by looking at the amount of homes that are selling and terminated and taken off the market versus the number of new listings coming on the market, you can kind of see a trend when we put it into a graph, and this might give you a hint as to what's going to happen in the market. So here's the chart that we looked at last week. Again, we're comparing new listings versus sold and terminated properties, and for this chart, we are using semi-detached in Mississauga between the prices of $600,000 and $900,000. However, I'm going to argue no matter where you are in the GTA, for an entry-level to affordable property house, you're probably going to see the same pattern. However, if you want to investigate that particular area yourself, you're more than happy to. If you work with me, I'm more than happy to pull those numbers for you. But as it stands, I'm a one-man show. So yeah, I decided to pick this type of house, but it's going to give you an idea. Like we spoke about last week, the chart showed that we were going, as we started off the year, we were in a very good seller's market. You can tell that the listings and the sales were trending with each other. And then about February, the listings started to slightly go up compared to sales, which is normal at that time because that's when a lot of sellers are ready to sell their house. And then when March came and the COVID crisis hit, you saw a bit of a lag where listings started to go up because that's what happens in the spring, yet the sellers were already on board and knowing that something wasn't right and they didn't go up with the list. Now, as we got further into March, you started to see the listings drop again, and that's people deciding to hold off or suspending the listings, or basically they're starting to realize maybe they weren't getting the showings or the price that they wanted at this time and they're willing to pull off. So what we've seen since the beginning of April, again, is the amount of sales and the amount of listings kind of converging. So again, we're not seeing that big spread between listings and sales, which would be an indication that there was something really drastically changing. Because ultimately, in order for prices to really drop, sellers have to be desperate to sell. And in order to do that, usually it takes a few months, and usually it takes a big spike in inventory to the point where they have to compete with each other in order to get their property sold. So as it stands in this chart right now, listings and sales are staying together, which is a good sign for property values. Now, in the short term, yes, the people that need to sell could be taking a bit of a discount, but I wouldn't use that as a reflection on the market as a whole. As time goes on, we'll have a better idea of what happens there. Well, I hope you enjoyed COVID-19 update number 3 for the GTA. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. I'm Jeff O'Leary. If you have any questions about real estate or you need to sell or buy during this time, always feel free to call or email me. Have yourself a safe day.